To make this Rough Times recipe the same way Gramma Willi does right here, you'll need 1 pound or 2 cups of navy beans, a half teaspoon of baking soda, 4 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of ketchup, half a teaspoon of dry mustard, a teaspoon of prepared mustard, half a teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 cup of fancy molasses, 3 ounces of chorizo sausage, and just enough water to have 3 or 4 inches above the beans.
Hi, we're going to make baked beans today in our Rough Times cooking show. Thanks for coming along. These are navy beans, can be found anywhere. You can use Great Northern beans, white beans, pretty much any small bean. White bean will do for your Rough Times baked beans. What I've got here is the beans have been soaking overnight with about a half a teaspoon of baking soda. I'm going to toss out this water now and put some fresh. I put the baking soda in to make it more digestible. Something that my mom taught me. We don't have the scientific reasons for it all, but we know it works. Less gassy. I'm sure that a lot of you appreciate that, or whoever you're sleeping with will also appreciate it. Giving them a little rinse and back in the pot. There we go. Now we're going to fill it up with water again and add a few ingredients. What we do with baked beans is start them on top of the stove, let them cook for a good long time, a couple hours, and then they'll go into the oven. Okay, I'm going to add some brown sugar. Let's see, how much is that? 1, 2, 3, let's say 4 tablespoons. And all right, never mind you finicky people, a little bit of ketchup. Really have to have it, say about a tablespoon. Dry mustard is best. I'll put about half a teaspoon. I'm going to put a little bit of the regular mustard, just to let you guys know that you can use either kind. It'll be fine. And okay, about a teaspoon. A little bit of salt. 1/4 teaspoon, half a teaspoon, somewhere in there. And one of the most important ingredients, molasses. I've got regular fancy molasses. You can use blackstrap if you want to. Use a little maybe extra sugar with that. There we go. I've put about 3 tablespoons, 1/4 cup of molasses in there. I'm going to stir it. Turn the heat on right away. This has got to get up to a boil. Turn the heat on high while you're doing all those ingredients will start melding together. Now while that's boiling, I'm going to cut up a little piece of sausage, and we had some left over. You could replace this sausage, which is actually a Mexican chorizo sausage, with it's kind of spicy. I like them. You could also put a piece of bacon or a ham hock or some smoke flavoring if you're vegan. Or a piece of pork chop, pork fat. It has been the tradition to use, oh dear, let's get that in there so we can cut it. To use pork and baked beans just because it makes the most beautiful flavor. Okay. Just gonna cut great big chunks and throw them in there, and that's gonna give us some nice flavor and a little bit of the pork fat. That makes our beans taste really good. There. Easy as 1, 2, 3. In she goes. Give it a little stir and bring it to a boil. And that's it for now. Our beans were cooking on top of the stove about 2.5 hours until they got a little bit soft. Then I put them in the oven in a casserole dish and I let them cook for another 2.5 hours. You can leave it overnight in a crock pot. You don't have to be fussy with beans. You can leave it on low in the oven all day. But you'll probably have them cooked really nice and soft at 350 degrees for 2.5–3 hours. So it's an all day kind of thing. But ever worth it. Make yourself some cornbread. You'll find that recipe at roughtimescooking.com too. I'll show you. Beautiful baked beans. Protein. Home cooking. It makes the house smell nice. There you go. What could be better? Thanks for coming by. Don't forget to visit roughtimescooking.com. See you next time.